What is up, my bad biddies, and welcome to another episode of the Bad Biddy Podcast. We are in a different location today. I'm really getting interesting with these locations, aren't I? I'm in my bathtub, so if there's an echo, I don't know if there's an echo. I don't know if you guys noticed anything different lately, but I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm freaking blonde. Blonde Steph has not made a debut in about 2 years, and I'm really excited for her comeback. And honestly, I have missed her, and it was really expensive, so sound off in the comments below. Let's get into Steph's life update before we get into what the topic of today's episode is. I think I've been really into my consumerism era. Like, I want to get my lips done too. I just got the nails done. I have like a new Stanley cup, and I literally look at this cute little backpack. When I'm at the gym, I typically put my phone and like my keys on the floor, and I can literally put it in here now. Bro, take my money. Just take my money. So yeah, I've been buying a lot of things, and my hair, and I don't know if it's a coping mechanism or if I'm literally just like leveling up. You know what? I'm leveling up. So yeah, other than my raging consumerism problem and my hair being blonde, everything else is really good. I am feeling a little guilty though. I almost feel like I have to say sorry to you guys because today is Friday, okay? My filming days for Bad Biddy are Tuesdays. I felt a little sick, like my throat was hurting. I didn't want to film it. And then yesterday was Thursday, and then same thing. My throat was hurting so bad, and I just literally could not even get a word out. And even today, being Friday, I still struggling. Like off camera, in between cuts, I'm literally sucking on a cough drop because my throat is so dry and it's hurting so bad. But I did not want to leave you guys with no episode this week, so we're gonna push through it. We're gonna do the bathtub episode, and we're gonna talk about some tips and tricks. So enough about me, let's get into what episode 5 is about. I have been noticing in my psychology class this semester that there are a lot of little tips and tricks that you can use in your everyday life to like just make things work for you more. You know what I mean? Call it manipulation, I call it science. So basically, I'm gonna break down these psychology tips into different categories, and we'll just go from there. So shout out to my professor Steve. You influenced this video. Love you so much. I have your test on Monday. I'm very nervous about it. I'll update you guys on how I do, but I'm currently studying my ass off. But thanks, Steve, for this, I guess. I have my little notes here. If you saw the last episode, then you already know why I do this. And if you haven't seen the last episode, it's about organization and getting your shit done. So I'll put it right up there too. So yeah, psychology is a really cool thing. Psychology is mostly defined as the study of I literally have my test and It is the scientific study of the way we think, act, and feel. Yes! That's literally on my test, so like, thank God I got that. Okay, so psychology is the scientific study of how we think, feel, and act. But a lot of different things in psychology explain why people are the way that they are, why the way they think that they do, and why they act the way that they do. So if we as people can understand that and have some sort of, starts with an A. What word am I? Awareness. If you have awareness of these things, you can either use it to your advantage of knowing when someone is using these tactics against you, or just using them whenever they will benefit you. You see what I mean? Oh my God. But a lot of these are just to help you out in general. Oh my God, I'm in pain. Okay, so the first category of psychology tips that I'm going to give you is how to appear more confident, how to feel more confident, just how to be more confident. So what even is confidence? I have it defined here as an individual's expectations of performance and self-evaluation of abilities. So self-confidence is different from self-esteem, but right now we're talking about self-confidence. Self-confidence is you believing in your own ability to do what you say you're going to do. The only way to really build self-confidence is to begin to trust yourself. So basically, the way that you build your own self-confidence is by trusting yourself little by little to just actually stick to your word, do the things you say you're gonna do, get the stuff that you want to get done, be responsible, and just stay on top of your shit. Because honestly, when you're letting yourself down all the time, like, why would you feel confident? Like, imagine if you had a boyfriend that was like constantly letting you down and you just had your expectations crushed every single time. You're never gonna have faith in that person ever again. It's the same thing with yourself, believe it or not. I always like to say that your relationship with yourself is just like a relationship with somebody else. You do not just get to act negatively towards yourself and just move on with your day and like ghost that person. Like, no, you need to address things, you need to fix things within yourself, you need to talk to yourself, etc., etc., etc. So the first psychology tip that I'm going to give you to build your own self-confidence is to give yourself small wins and congratulate yourself when you do them. So let's say if you give yourself a bunch of small tasks and you get them all done, those are technically all small little wins. And the more small wins that you actually achieve, you're going to want to move on to medium wins and more medium wins. And then honestly, eventually, if you're coming through for yourself, you will start to feel your self-confidence growing. You will feel your expectations for yourself start growing, and you will feel the need to just push yourself and to be better. So eventually you'll go on to big wins, and that is how you build your own self-confidence. Psychologically, you have to switch the narrative in your brain from, oh, these little tasks are so meaningless. You have to actually believe that there are more meaningful than the biggest task at large. And also moving with intention. If you are intentionally achieving these small wins to prove yourself that you can stick to your word, you're gonna start having more trust in yourself, ultimately building your self-confidence. And I call it a psychology trick because it's all in the narrative in your mind. It's all in how you speak to yourself. It's all in how you look at things, your perspective, and it's all about intention. Okay, so tip number 1 was more for internal self-confidence. Now, number 2 is gonna be more for external confidence. So people who are talking to you see you as a more confident person. So psychology tip number 2 on how to see more confident is going to be eye contact. I know a lot of people say this, and I've seen so many psychology videos that mention this, but it is actually so true and real and raw, and it is one of the ultimate things that will work almost immediately. I personally love to do this because I love to test people's confidence. Eye contact is such a deep an instant way to just connect with somebody. Like these days, everyone's looking at their phones or looking down or just like awkward as fuck. If someone's looking at you, you like feel insecure because you're like, oh my God, like what's on my face? Like, no, people have eyes. Since the dawn of times, people have been looking at each other. Like, it's only kind of weird now because we made it weird. So you know what? The people who make mad eye contact like that, they are gonna stand out and you are gonna remember them. When you're talking to someone and you can clearly tell that their mind's in another place, they're fidgeting, they're not really paying attention, they're really in their head and focus more on what they look like than like actually the person who's standing in front of them, that person is completely engulfed in insecurity. And it's so obvious. And I'm not saying being insecure is bad. Like everyone is insecure at times, but you gotta fake it till you make it sometimes, babe. Smile at people, make eye contact, give compliments, say thank you. These are just qualities that are such bare minimum but are so easily looked over. It really just sets the tone of the type of person you are. Like you see the person you're talking to as an equal, not above or below or nothing. Like this is who you are, and honestly that is like the most badass energy that you can give. Like yeah, you can stare. Shit, I would too. Like just embodying that energy automatically makes you look and feel more confident, and try to have fun with it. Like honestly, who gives a shit? You're really that scared to look someone in the eyes? Be fucking for real. And if you can't, try to look over here. That's a little tip that you can use, but I think it's more fun to look at people in the eyes, watch them get nervous. All right, so the third psychological tip that I have on how to be more confident, honestly, is being yourself. There is nothing that makes you feel and look more insecure than not knowing how to fucking act because you're thinking about how somebody else would act. Absolutely not. You need to act, think, and look like you are in your own world. Everyone is their own individual person. It is such a shame that we all try to be copies of each other nowadays. Everyone's so scared to be authentic. Everyone's so scared to be weird. Everyone's scared to say something stupid or to be corrected or like, shut the fuck up. You can die tomorrow, girl. Be yourself. It really stresses me out when I can clearly tell that somebody is thinking so hard about what they should say or act, even like through the phone, like through text. You can tell when someone is like thinking of a million different responses to say when they should just say what comes the most natural to them. Decide on what to say based on situation to situation. There are times when you cannot just be a complete blabbermouth. In the times where someone's asking you a personal question and you're just trying to think of an answer that will get you more liked, that is actually crazy. Like you do know you cannot control what anybody thinks about you, right? You can try. You can lead the horse to water. You can't force it to drink it. Imagine if you were being this like fake ass boring person and now you have all these fake ass boring friends. You don't even feel like you're being authentically yourself when you're around them. You're gonna be drained all the time because you're not acting on your instinct. You're just acting. There is literally just no reason to not be yourself. You're just gonna attract closer connections to people who are more similar to you, the real you. You're gonna feel and look way more confident because you're no longer thinking of what this other person is gonna perceive you as. You're only gonna be thinking about what you actually think. The people who are a vibrational match to you will find you. If you're vibrating a fake bitch, you're gonna attract so many fake bitches. Like, stop it. Be yourself, please and thank you. It is really not hard. It's actually the easiest thing to do. I'm gonna take another cough drop break. Okay, so moving on to category 2, we're gonna get on how to get people to like you more. And I know I just said that other people's opinions don't matter and that you shouldn't care what other people think, blah, 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 blah. In some scenarios, you do need to care, okay? For example, a job interview, a televised interview. You're running into your ex. You're in an awkward situation. Like, these are just kind of like moments where you want to control how people perceive you just a little bit. But the tips that I'm going to give you are such small things, but trust me, they have such a big impact. The first psychological tip that I'm going to give you on how to get people to like you more is to compliment them. What is your first thought when someone compliments you? You think, oh, that's so nice. Like, oh, don't you get such a nice, like, fuzzy feeling inside? I am a firm believer in hurt people, and I am also a firm believer in the opposite, which is happy people want to make other people happy. Having a thought and actually being confident enough to voice that thought to somebody else just to like make them smile. It is just such a nice interaction between humans and we just need more of it. Like, especially when I go out and like all the drunk girlies are like, you're so pretty. Oh my god, you're so pretty. That's my favorite part of the night. Like, I like that more than the actual going out part. Also, on the topic of compliments, can you accept them, please? I despise when I try to compliment somebody and they're like, oh my god, no, like this old thing, or like, oh my god, stop, you're lying. Like, shut the okay, I'm lying. All right, I'm lying. I take it back. Bitch. I don't know where the fad of not accepting compliments came from. It literally stems from insecurity. So stop. Why can't you accept a compliment? Like, what? Who's it hurting? You're just fishing for more compliments at that point because that person has no choice but to either be like, oh, haha, okay, I thought it was cute, or like, oh no, like, when you're given a compliment and you cannot accept it, you just look insecure as fuck. So that also makes you look less confident. I guess a tip inside a tip is to, number 1, accept compliments, and number 2, give compliments. Please and thank you. All right, so I guess the second or third tip on how to get people to like you more is using their name and mimicking their body language. Once again, if you're in a scenario of like you're flirting with someone, you're trying to get a job, or like you're just trying to like get something out of a situation, use a little sprinkle, okay? Everyone has an ego. Everyone loves having their ego stroked. And you know, a perfect way of stroking someone's ego without doing too much is using their name. People love to hear their name. Their ears will perk up like a dog. Just using someone's name a few times in a conversation makes them remember you more, positively, and it psychologically makes them like you just a little bit more than if you never would have done that. Using people's names, mimicking their body language, and mimicking their language are just gonna remind people of themselves through you. So psychologically, they're gonna like you more. All right, I have about 1 or 2 left, but honestly, I am dead. I love you guys so much. I promise the next episode will be better. I really just did not want to leave you guys without an episode. So yeah, I tried my best, guys. I just hope I feel better and that I can just show up better for you guys next week. But I do love you all so much. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to give it a like, hit that subscribe button. All my accounts, my TikTok, my Instagram will be down below. I also have the Bad Biddy Podcast Instagram down below as well. And go check out the other videos, bitch. I have like 4 other videos out right now. We are just starting, girls, so try to catch up. Okay. I love you guys so much. I will see you next week. And remember that you are always the baddest biddy out. Okay. Mwah.